The 20th, 2025. Just coming off of a long weekend here in Canada. So back to mowing the full schedule today, and just thought do another lawn mowing live stream. So let's get to it. This lawn you guys have seen multiple times, so nothing new here. Let me just turn the camera around and see. So hopefully the audio is working out well. My little tripod in my pocket in case I decide to use that. I've got the AC180 power supply, the Blue Eddy, charging a battery currently in the trailer. Still waiting on the Milwaukee mower to show up at some point. Apparently they are back ordered. Although my brother-in-law just bought one. Got one from Home Depot. They were had a promotion here where you get the quick lock Milwaukee tool only trimmer for free with the purchase of the mower. And that ends at the end of May. So he wanted to pick up one of those Milwaukee mowers to try out. So ironically, he got to use it before I've had a chance to put it to the test. So far, he liked it. The only thing is that he'll need to get a bunch of batteries. As it only came with two for the mower. I think he had some 8s or something as well. Some 8 amp hour batteries. But then he saw the batteries and charger were on sale, so he went to pick those up last night. It was kind of funny that he was waiting and waiting for me to get the Milwaukee mower to try out, and like I said, they're back ordered, so I haven't been able to get one and try it out yet. And so he couldn't wait. He just ended up just going and buying one. So far, he likes it. His first experience using a battery mower, so I wasn't sure how he would like the battery mower experience. My brother-in-law is very old school, especially for like a lawn care business. But he would prefer the gas. So far, he's enjoying his first experience using a battery mower. Oh, he's still in that kind of early stage, like I was when I first started using battery stuff, in that you take all the gas stuff with you as well, just in case. You don't quite trust it yet. You don't quite, you don't have the experience knowing how many lawns you can do and kind of that scenario. So you always take the gas equipment with you, just in case. My brother-in-law is also one not to do, he doesn't do like a lot of research and stuff on things. So he was using it the other day and like mowing on like the high power mode. So he's going through battery like really quickly. So I was like, no. Put it on, you know, there's a low speed and a high speed, like most tools will have. You probably run it on the low speed for the majority of everything you do, except for, if you're doing like cleanup or over, tall grass or challenging condition with the mower, like wet grass. From the mowers I've tried so far that are battery, they've all been about the same in terms of you can use them on low and get through the day a lot easier with less batteries, and they work just fine. Just cranking it up to the high power here when it's like raining, the grass is tall in the spring, sometimes leaf cleanups in the fall require that extra. The trimming here didn't even have the camera pointed down properly. Sorry about that. This is one that you guys have seen before if you watch the live streams. Even some of the other videos I've done, trimming hedges or trimming a dappled willow tree. They're all from this property. I got the new little foldable tripod with me as well, so once I get on the mower, I'll try to set that up in some different areas. Give a more traditional view. We just came off of a long weekend here in Canada, so didn't work yesterday. Life for a few days. Came back yesterday morning. I'm back at it. So today is going to be a little bit of a longer day from what I'm used to the last few weeks. I've been dividing up my schedule, my normal Tuesday schedule. Normally I only mow Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. This year I've been doing, the last few weeks at least, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Taking some of my Tuesdays and getting a early start on them and mixing up some of the other ones as well. But then of course the long weekend kind of threw a wrench in that, so had to put them all back for today. It's also was very wet and rainy all weekend. We had no rain for about 3 weeks, and then it all came this past weekend. It's supposed to get better as the week goes on, but today's kind of mixed. It's been like light showers here and there, and blue skies and stuff. This property I'm using the turf tracer. So just put the trimmer back. I had my first lawn of the day. was one of the ones that I was trying to do on the Mondays, just to give myself more time, because it's the only one that I do. It's one of my very first customers. So it's a lawn that I've been mowing for well over 15 years, since I started my brand myself when I left the lawn care franchise company. So when I first started this brand that I have here, I was taking on work in a bigger area. So it's the only customer I have left from those early days. So they're outside of what is now my route density zone. It's like on the other side of town, essentially. And it's been getting harder and harder to get over there each year. There's been a lot of population growth, which means a lot more traffic, and then construction and stuff. Let's see if we can start this guy up. It's going to be a bit noisy. So today it took me, I left earlier than I would normally start. And it's always a catch-22. I don't like starting or leaving the house. Like I'll literally leave around 9 a.m. And that's just to avoid traffic, school zones, all that sort of stuff. And a lot of times my first houses are in my neighborhood, so I'm not venturing out. So thought, well, let me start earlier today, since I got to combine those days. But ironically, it doesn't really help me, because I'm stuck then in kind of that tail end of the early morning rush of people getting to work before 9, and it just becomes a gong show. So it took me like 45 minutes to get to my first property today, which is brutal. It's one that I'm not sure it's worth mowing anymore. It just takes too much time to get over there. While lost my tripod on the tree. Pulled it right out of my pocket. While I hate firing a customer or letting go of a customer, especially one of my original customers, it's becoming not really worth going over there, as it's the only one that's not, like I say, in my route density. Most lawns that I do, actually all lawns that I do, are within 5 to maybe 10 minutes at the most away from my home. So that one taking 45 minutes to get to, and being the only one in that neighborhood, because I don't want to do any more over there. I just kind of continue to service it so far out of like loyalty for that client. It's just becoming very tough to justify. I could easily fill in that time with, 2 or 3 lawns over here. Let me know if you have any questions. Speaking of questions, today I did a
released a podcast episode called Seek and You Shall Find, and I was talking about one of the most common questions that I get asked on social media. I get asked, it's a variation of two questions basically. One of the questions is, how do I get more customers? And the second question is, what's your best piece of advice for me? I'm just starting out. And it's funny, it's been 50-50 in terms of how that episode has been received. I got some negative comments from it because I was basically explaining that if you're asking those types of questions, that you're essentially too lazy because the answers have been discussed ad nauseum on my podcast by me and guests over the past 10 years. So this one person kind of sent me a message saying that it's the first time looking for podcasts on lawn care, and they found mine and stumbled on that episode and were like ticked off that I like, that's how you're going to treat people asking a question? Well, it's the same question over and over again. And if they're too lazy to look for the answers, that question to me demonstrates somebody who has not listened to the podcast or watched my YouTube videos or anything like that. Because if they have, they would know all that's been answered. They would know at least where to find or search for the answers to those questions in the content. But they haven't. So that's why. And the funny thing is, I think part of the reason that that question bothers me so much is that the 18, 19-year-old version of myself asked that same question, or relatively the same, a similar question of a podcast, one of the very early podcasts when podcasting was just kind of coming on before I even started podcasting 10 years ago. And, I asked the same kind of question. And, of course, got no response. So I think that's why it bothers me as much when other people ask me the same question. Because it reminds me of the younger version of myself. Before I understood that nobody's going to come and save you, nobody's going to come and do the work for you. But if you want to be successful in lawn care or any other business, I've talked about this before as well on the podcast, that there's lots of other businesses that I've started in the past and they've failed. And it's only when you're older and you look back that you see the reason that those businesses failed was me. It wasn't all the excuses I was making before about why those businesses failed. Ultimately, it all rested on my shoulders. So once you learn that, and you see other young people asking the same questions, and they don't want to listen, then, get a little sensitive to it. I'm always leery about this dappled willow tree here. I've trimmed it multiple times throughout the years, and I've shown it on video lots of times, trimming it. One of the years that I trimmed it, there was a bald-faced hornet nest inside of it that I didn't know, and they came out not very happy, and got it all on video. And you can find that video on my channel. Trimming the dappled willow, and I think on the thumbnail I got a big like cartoon bald-faced hornet picture. Yeah, that one I got stung multiple times. That was not fun. I'm noticing that it's actually a bit breezy, so I'm not sure about that tripod, because it's very lightweight. So, let's see if it blows over.
It just becomes such a curiosity. It bugs me.
Yeah. You can always wait and see, but yeah, the app is saying that it's called a Flix weed. Flix weed. Yeah. So yeah, it's up to you. If you want to wait and see and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe I'll do that. I'll have to till I get annoyed with it someday.
Yeah, see how big it gets.
Yeah.
It actually looks not too bad.
Well, I know. I kept thinking. At first, I thought that isn't what Dusty Miller comes out like, because I had that last year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I thought, well, no, this isn't the way it looks.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never even heard of a Flix weed, but that's what
Well,
that's what it says.
maybe I'll become famous.
Yeah.
Well, obviously somebody's heard of it because they've got it on.
Yeah, they've got it listed as what it is, and it was getting all the other flowers correct in terms of naming what those were. So, all right, yeah. All right, empty this out. Let's start this back up. Looks like my signal is not that great now. Wonder if it was like that before. Again, weather's always an issue. It's not like a clear, sunny day. Yeah, the streaming. It's not that good right now. Why is it giving me...
Just 1 second, let me just try. Don't know if that worked or not. Should have went to an existing event. Did that work? Not sure. Let me know if you guys can hear. Yeah, see, it's weird. Usually when I switch, if I have to use the phone for something, switch apps or something, then it'll pause the stream for a second, but then you can just get back to it with no issue. This time when I went back to it, the signal was not working properly. So hopefully this continued. That other stream, it should have. I selected to join an existing event. At any rate, go grab the bin. Grab this. This client was asking me about that plant, and I was using basically an AI plant identification app to identify that it was a weed. It's a really good app. It's free. If you guys are interested, it's called Seek, Seek, by iNaturalist. Basically, it just uses your camera on your phone. You have to have a data connection, though, of course. It basically looks at the plant and will tell you what it is in real time. Yeah, so a handy little app to have. Unfortunately, if the client's coming out to ask for some help with that, I had to pause the stream and I messed up the stream there a bit, but it is what it is. You can see how dirty the Milwaukee has gotten already, just because it was covered in dust and then got cut out in some rain. So it got all kind of yucky looking in there and stuff. Pull off these clippings. There's any clippings that I've created. Yeah, the weather's a bit, if you guys can hear the wind. You can probably see it in the trees. But that all creates havoc when you're trying to live stream. It really messes with the cell signals. You got clouds moving in, blowing around.